And we're so happy to be joined in the studio now with the Mvskoke Creek Nation Secretary of the Nation and Commerce, Eli McIntosh. Eli, thanks for being with us here in the studio today.
Thank you for having me, Jason.
You bet. Now, normally when you and I talk, there's not cameras. You know, we're old pals from Eufaula, but it's great to have you in not only here today, but also here at Mvskoke Creek Nation. You've been in office now for not very long, pretty new on the job still. How have things been going, and how have you acclimated to the office so far?
Well, I'm very excited to be here, very excited to be with the tribe. It's been going very well so far. It's very busy, just getting, like you said, acclimated to the office, finding out all the departments that fall under me, and picking up. There wasn't anyone within my position for about 3 months before I came into it, so just getting everything back up to speed. We've been working on that, and I kind of feel like we've made a lot of progress in that area, and so we're really looking to start moving forward now.
Let's talk about your background real quick. Before coming into the cabinet of a tribal administration, really, you know, you hadn't been involved with tribal government, but in the outside world, the private sector. But talk a little bit about your experience and sort of what led you to this point.
The past 6 years, I've been an examiner with the National Credit Union Administration, been a credit union examiner. And within that role, we went around the credit unions. We were their regulator, and then we also evaluated their business practices. And so within a portion of that was strategic planning. Within my office, we attract the economic and business development of the tribe. And so I have a background in evaluating strategic plans. That was a portion of what we did during our exams, and so I feel like that gave me a lot of background in evaluating product implementation, product development. Sat down with a lot of CEOs and how they manage their operations. I've been inside a lot of large credit unions. Just last year I was inside over 4 credit unions that were over $1 billion in asset size, and so you get kind of used to seeing large numbers and then kind of their business practices and how those large organizations are structured. And so I feel like that gives me some background as far as the economic development part of it. Within that, also, what falls underneath me is the Mvskoke Loan Fund. And so, of course, we evaluated lending programs. And so I feel that gives me a little bit of background as far as that area, how we're going to develop that program going forward.
When you come in and you do look at some of the things that you're charged with keeping track of here at the Nation, as you said, the Mvskoke Loan Fund, you look at that and what have you seen so far, and are you encouraged by some of the ideas that you can bring to the table?
Yes, I am. Very excited about that program. It can be a really great program for the tribe. Right now, what it is set up for is to do small business lending. Our target, really, we're a community development financial institution underneath the Department of Treasury, or we're at least certified as a CDFI, but we fall under the tribe. What we do within that is, really our target audience is Native peoples looking to start a business that typically wouldn't qualify for a loan at a bank or a credit union that does business lending. Within that as well, we have the Small Business Development Center in there as well. The way we have that program set up is right now is if an individual is looking to set up a business, they can start the Small Business Development Center, and then they can work on their business plan, get it developed, get the numbers all together, and then they'll be referred to the loan fund, and then they can go in there and apply for the loan, go through the underwriting process, and hopefully get qualified and get funding for their business.
Yeah, and that's something that you and I, before off camera, when you first came in and we talked about you taking over the position, we really shared a passion as far as wanting to see. Every year we see the tribes talk about diversifying their economic streams. You know, let's not saturate with gaming. Let's find different things. And you and I had specifically talked about the tribal youth and really getting them involved in the business world, the business aspect. Don't you think, and I think that you shared that with me, but don't you think that these things, the programs that you were talking about, sort of helps foster that and gives them a leg up?
Yes, I believe so. As we discussed, I think the greatest benefit to the program will be on down the line. Hopefully the youth, they will see within their own families and relatives, they'll see that it is possible as a Native American to be a business owner. Right. And I believe going forward that will create diversity within our tribe and it make our tribal members more independent going forward, that they can be a business owner, they can be a driver within the economy. and create their own independence. And I feel that that'll make our tribe as a whole stronger going forward, having that within it.
You also come in and you look at things that the tribe has done over the past couple years that maybe that you, like we talked about, had been in the private sector, but you come in and look in and you see a program that we had like TARO, Tribal Employment Rights Office. Now we sort of have not really a substitute, but a different named program there. Yes. Talk about that and what you've seen there and your encouragement as far as going forward with that type of operation.
Well, right now, we're still evaluating exactly what we're going to do with that program. As you stated, it's been renamed to Contracting and Employment Service Office. And we're still meeting and designing kind of strategically how we're going to move that office forward. And so we're still, I would say, as far as right now, maybe more in the discussion part of it. I mean, we're looking to move forward with it to make it work on both sides, make it work for the tribe, and then to also get our citizens employed as well, because that's really the target of that program, is to employ citizens and put them to work.
And I know that you talked about you have some big meetings coming up where you're excited about getting a lot of like-minded people in the room where you guys can talk about moving forward.
Yes, and so we're looking forward to that. We have those meetings scheduled. Well, I won't say scheduled. We're looking to start those meetings within the next week.
Great. And also under your office, self-governance. Can you talk a little bit about that and your understanding of it so far?
Yes. That's a really interesting office in how it operates. Underneath the Indian Self-Determined and Education Assistance Act of 1975, we're a self-determined tribe. And what that means is the federal funds that are allocated to our tribe, they come to us through the BIA. And as a self-determined tribe, we get to decide how we're going to allocate those funds. Instead of, if we were not self-determined, then the BIA would dictate what those services, those funds are spent on. And so the tribal leadership is then able to allocate those funds to different programs. And it doesn't always provide the full funding for a program, but it can provide a material amount to get the program going, and then we can come in as a tribe, and then we can also add additional funding into it and make the program stronger and to make it really work. And so that's a very, very excited about what's going on in that office. We're looking to go out to Washington, D.C. in March, and that's when they're going to have the negotiations. We go in and negotiate with the BIA as far as the allocations, and so we're going to head out there, and then it's going to be there's 2 representatives from the tribe. We went to a meeting last week, and the 2 representatives for the Eastern District office were nominated, and then they're going to go out there and negotiate on their behalf. So we're very excited about that.
Wonderful. Moving along and talking about the different responsibilities of the Secretary of the Nation, you know, here at the tribe, it's going to come up. It always does. We've had the last 2 chiefs have a petition come up against them. We've had petitions to change the Constitution, things like that. A lot of people out there really don't know the process, but in the Constitution, it does say that those petition processes comes to the office of the Secretary of the Nation.
Yes.
What is the process there, Eli, when a petition comes up, or just sort of take us through what has to happen?
My understanding is, from reading that section of the Constitution, is that if a citizen wants to bring forth some type of legislation outside of the National Council, outside of the chief, then they get it together. It's 8% of the voters in the last general election for the principal chief have to sign the petition, and they have to sign off on the full text of it. And then once they get that together, then they bring it to my office, and it's addressed to the principal chief, but it gets filed in my office, and then it goes forward from there for a vote of the people.
But so before it comes to you, before it gets away from you at all, there has to be the required amount of signatures on it, is that right?
That is my understanding, is that they get everything together and then they file it within my office.
Okay. Well, also, you know, when you look at what you've done, we talked about your experience with the federal and the credit unions and things like that. A lot of people out there would say, yeah, it's a great gig. It's a wonderful thing that you were able to be involved in there. So Chief Floyd comes calling and wants you to be a part of the cabinet. What was it, Eli, that made you say, I want to go do this? Was it a feeling of maybe duty as a citizen or just a change up? What was it in you that wanted to take that leap?
Well, I feel that, I think every Mvskoke Creek citizen at some point wants to come work for the tribe, contribute to the tribe. And so I've always wanted to come back, but I also wanted it to be the right opportunity. And for me, really the deciding factor was I get a good feeling about Chief Floyd and his leadership. I feel that under his leadership, people feel comfortable to do the right thing. And that's very important, I think, within our culture, as far as our business culture of the tribe. For example, recently we had the ethics training, and he's looking to get together a working group and really develop a whistleblower hotline if someone sees something wrong. And so when I see that within the leadership, that's very important to me, is that, we can come in, we can do the right thing, that he wants to do the right thing. And so for me in this position, I work directly under him, so it was very important to me. And so it was really an opportunity to work for him as well. He's, when I've been around him in meetings, he's very intelligent, very knowledgeable. And so that was an exciting part of it, because as you stated, I was in the private sector. I just gotten promoted right before I took this position, and but it was really the opportunity to come back and have a positive impact.
Well, we're glad to have you. As far as Mvskoke Creek citizens, it's always good to have that cabinet rounded out with people that we know are intelligent. And also, I use the word duty because a lot of people may not know, also a veteran of the United States Marine Corps. So definitely thankful for your service there, and glad to have another veteran in the fold. And glad to have you in studio today, Eli. We appreciate your time. Is there anything else you'd like to add, or anything you'd like to the citizens of the Mvskoke Creek Nation to know about the Secretary of the Nation and what you have planned?
Just that I'm really excited to be here, and that we're really evaluating the economic opportunities for the tribe, and really looking to move forward and do exciting things, really develop. Like I said, we're going to have a strategic planning session, and we're really looking forward to that as far as the direction of the tribe.
Well, we're looking forward to working with you here, and hopefully get to talk to you a lot more, and the cameras ain't rolling. Just come over and see me. All right, thanks, Eli.
Appreciate
you, man.
Thank you.